Yes, sir. We back in the building. Pelican Bay Dog TV and news for the day. Giving it to my brothers like I always do. My sisters do like I always do. Big shout out, big salute to all the bulldoggers across the world from one side of the planet to the other side. We're about to get into this dog talk today. Today's topic. Hold up. Big salute to them brothers down in the chat, them sisters down in the chat, and everybody watching this video. But today's topic, we talking about MayDay himself, and we talking about how much Tombstone does this dog have in him. You know, let's actually go into the pedigree and look at. Let's don't go off of what somebody tell you. Let's go in the pedigree and break these dogs down when it comes to Tombstone and the Bolio. You know, because I already see it's a higher percentage of Bolio in MayDay, you know, but we just gonna see how much Tombstone was in here to actually even say he's a Bolio Tombstone dog, you know, and let's add it up. And what's gonna make the difference? We're gonna talk about several dogs tonight, because we're gonna talk about the Jesse James Rod dog as well. But being that we're talking about the Tombstone Bolio or the Bolio Tombstone crosses, go check the video out or make sure you tune in when the video drop. When I say we talking about who made the best breedings, Indian Sunny or Pat Patrick. You know, they made breedings with Bolio different kind of ways. I mean, with Bolio, who made better Bolio breedings, Indian Sunny or Pat Patrick? And that's coming on a video as well. So y'all check that video out. You know, but what we about to do, man, we about to check this MayDay out. We about to check the Tombstone out in this pedigree. And the Tombstone will be on the bottom side. So what we're gonna do is like we always do. We're gonna start from the top of the bottom side, which is Grand Champion Hooks Rowdy. Grand Champion Hooks Rowdy is gonna be the start of our Tombstone Bolio percentages. Count up. Okay. Now, this dog is coming off Bolio on the top, Eli on the bottom of the top. When you go in the very back, you see the Eli. You don't see no Tombstone. When you look on this dog bottom, you see Bolio, Eli, Clemens. You know, so we don't see no Tombstone in that first dog, which is Hooks Rowdy. No Tombstone at all. And we in MayDay's pedigree. The whole top half is Red Boy Jocko. We know that. Now we go to Patrick's Bonnie Marani. Coming off of Tombstone, bred to Bolio daughter. Bolio daughter was coming off of Carver's Ironhead. Okay. So this dog right here, Bonnie, is about a 50% Tombstone dog. She's a 50% Tombstone dog. Okay, now we're going down to Patrick's Little Tater. Indian Bolio on the top, Indian Bolio on the bottom. No Tombstone in there, nowhere. Do you see any Tombstone? We don't see any Tombstone. Okay. That was Little Tater. Now we go to Anderson's Rose. She's coming off of Anderson's Tonka, which is a Tombstone dog. This is Tombstone Boomerang dog. A Tombstone with a dash of boomerang in it. And that's Anderson's Rose. Got Bull Boy Bob. Everybody know he's not a Tombstone Bolio, he's a Bolio. A Bolio and Claus dog. And Patrick did all kind of crazy stuff back in the day, so ain't no telling what these dogs coming off of. Now you got Patrick's Red Baby, Indian Bolio, no Tombstone. Now we got Tatanka, which we know is coming off Tombstone, and Anderson's Auburn, which is a boomerang Tombstone dog. Bolio at the bottom. So we're not even full 50% Tombstone right here. We got the Bolio coming in still right there with the boomerang on top. So I'm going to say MayDay has enough Tombstone in him to call him a Bolio Tombstone. I would say Bolio Tombstone because Tombstone is not high as the Bolio, but he's got a good bit of that Tombstone in the back there. But like I said, man, y'all check the video out when I drop the video about Indian Sonny and Pat Patrick, and because they made different kinds of breedings, and I want y'all to check that out, and dissect it for yourself. Now let's check out old Jesse James Ryan. Let me see if I can pull him up real quick. Okay. Jesse James Ryan coming out for 357 without the Macho Buck in it. Macho Buck a great dog, but I just had to clarify it because you don't really see a whole lot of dogs coming off 357 without the Macho Buck in it. So I just, say it like that. Macho Buck is a great dog. Would love to have one off of Macho Buck. All right, he's coming off 357 and Stone City's Baby. Baby is off of Yellow Buck, which is off STP's Buck. Let's click on Yellow Buck. I like how this dog look right here. I like this dog, even though it's not a real, I guess that you could call that a good picture. But I like that dog right there, man. Perfect confirmation to me. Perfect weight. Good looking dog all the way around. And this particular picture right here, this is probably, one of his, when he's in a keep pictures. This is not when he's fat in the wintertime on a chain picture. He's got to be about to go into a show on this picture right here. If anybody who know dogs, if you know your dog weight or know how to look at a dog and tell if he underweight or overweight, that's why I say if he was this weight on a chain on an everyday basis with his backbone barely showing like that, then that's too light for him. Some people say they would have kept their dog at show weight, but in my opinion, that picture that you're looking at right now, this is my opinion. That's not too far from the time that he went out to his show. And like I said, that's my opinion. Looking at his weight, he's showing his stomach a little too tucked in. His back hip bones right here. That muscle right there is kind of poked out a little tad bit. So it gives me the impression that, this is a fully conditioned dog we're looking at right here. But yeah, we're looking at Jesse James Rod. And so let me go back. Now we got Yellow Buck was bred to Miss Nico. Miss Nico is a buck Jeep dog. Buck in the third generation. Actually, in actuality, she's a red boy Jocko buck Jeep dog. Because you see Buck in the third generation as well as Yellow. And when we look at breeders and we look at pedigrees, let's just look at pedigrees tonight. Let's just look at pedigrees right now and make judgments on these dogs just by looking at the pedigree. We know we can't judge a dog by the pedigree, but just look at this pedigree. Third generation, we got Buck, SDP Sassy, Grand Champion Yellow, Champion Jeep 2 times. , 'Tance Goldie, 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 'Tance Goldie And Anderson's Brandy, I don't know much about this dog right here, but I'm quite sure this dog right here was a good dog in his days, coming down off We Hunt, you know, the infamous We Hunt. So this is a heavy honey bunch dog right there on the top side with the Eli on the bottom side. But that's Miss Nico. Okay. Now, STP Buck, Awesome Baby. Awesome Baby is of Yellow and Tance Goldie. And we're going to check out some of Jesse James Rod Offspring as well. Let's check this breeding they made out. Jesse James Rod on the top. Luke Kane daughter on the bottom. STP's Black Tasmanian. Bred the champion Zebo's Gina girl. Made Clean Mary. Let's look at Clean Mary first, then we're going to see if we can get to that Black Tasmanian pedigree. Clean Mary is Buck on the bottom, Burton's Hank, Gunner Dog in the fourth, Bolio in the fourth. All right, this Black, let's check out Black Tasmanian. Good looking dog. Coming down off Cherokee Orla Jr., which is an Eli dog, Eli Bolio dog. Now that's why I want y'all to check that video out that I did with about Indian Sonny and Pat Patrick, because you will see, man. That's why, I don't want to speak too much on it right now because I don't want to sound like I'm saying the same thing. But it goes back to the person who owned the dog having a dream, having a vision, and the person who got the dog eventually because of a dog being stolen or something like that, having a different vision. Both people making great breedings, you know. But when it came to Indian Sonny, he just concentrated more on the Eli side. You know, that's about all I'm gonna speak on that. Like I said, I got the whole video coming, and you can check that out. You know, big salute to the brothers and sisters down in the chat right now. But we talking about Black Tasmanian at the moment. Looking at his pair, like I said, he was Eli on the top and Boils on the bottom. Let's check this Grand Champion Cummins Dutch boy out. That's more of that bold stuff. That's Bowles, your Eli. Okay. Bowles and Eli on the bottom side. Eli right there. Yeah. So that's a good heavy Eli dog. Now that was Bobby Lou pedigree. Let's check out East Coast Kingpins Frank James. Same breeding. A little, let's see, this is a little different, I think. It's a little bit different. No, it's the same breeding. Yeah, it's same breeding. Let's check out Most Wanted Southern Braveheart Kennels Little Charlie. Here goes some different stuff we can check out. See what it's going back to. This Trishan's Caribbean man. Let's see what it's coming back to. Okay, that's Jeep. Okay, bred good. Let's see what that Caribbean secret coming back from. Okay, Jeep. Oh, them some heavy bred Jeep dogs right there. Yes, sir. Look at that. Jeep bred to his daughter, bred back to the daughter of that litter. Okay, we got all that Tristan's Caribbean stuff is Jeep. We got Stone City's Yellow Buck again. Let's check out Twins Bulldogs. I got a little bit of that Midnight Cowboy back there. Uh, Arts Missy. Okay, that's enough for her. We're getting too deep into hers. He got 3 pages of pedigrees. Let's check out page 2. Nelson's Hot Rod. Let's see what he bred like. Lucane, Clean Mary. They made a lot of these breedings. She must that particular breeding must be did real good. You know, they made a lot of them breedings. Let's check out limited editions kennels Tim Duncan. Okay, he's coming down off that the Jesse James ride on the top, and in the 3rd generation on the bottom side he got that West Penn Razor. Good looking dog right there. Coming down off that STP buck in the 2nd generation, and the crabs stuff on the bottom side. I like that dog, West Penn's Razor. And let's see, he got MayDay, Stone City Blondie. Let's check out this dog here, Wargasms Beijing. See they got a picture up there. Okay, now, great picture right here. Great picture. And the reason why I say this is a great picture is because we have a predominantly buck dog with the crab stuff. Let's check this crab at see where it go to, because I gotta get to my point. Okay, the crab's going to the Tombstone. Okay, we have this color here. This is our color. This is our color, brothers. Now, this what I'm pulling up is helping some of my brothers that come out with these Rottweiler color dogs with uh your Bolio dogs, not your Red Boy Jocko, but if you got some Bolio in it, this is helping your argument. You see this dog here, and you can tell this is the Willow Peak that I'm always talking about, and this is coming down off of West Penn's Razor, which is a predominantly buck dog. See that Tatanka Tombstone Bolio. So this is a Tombstone Bolio dog. The stuff with that Tombstone Bolio in it can throw them Willow Peak colors right there. Now see, I like this color when it comes to pit bull. I like the color. I just need to know where it come from. And the more research we do on some of these Tombstone Bolio dogs, now some answers are coming to the table. That's all we want, some answers when it comes to these colors. Now let's keep this thing going. We still in Jesse James Rod Offspring. Just checking out some of these buck dogs and Tombstone Bolio. Just for all my brothers who got them buck and Tombstone Bolio dogs. Let's check out Forever Young Warhead Billy. Oh, great looking dog. Great looking dog. And if I ain't mistaken, he's a red brindle dog. Great looking dog. Old red brundle. Let's check his pet out. Buck on the top, MayDay on the bottom, Harco's Bozak. Another one of the real yellow dogs. See, this ain't bootleg right here. This real yellow. This ain't the baking soda. You know, just the real. So we got that Harco's Bozak in it. Bozak bred the Stone City's Dixie, who was off Jedi and Awesome Baby. So right now we seeing them, they keeping it toward that yellow, Red Boy Jocko, Tombstone, Bolio stuff. They're not really going out for the ones that we've seen so far. Not real far. They're not going out far. Let's check out Black Belt Kennels, Miss Jessie Jr. Okay, look how they got her bred. 357, Buck on the top. Grand Champion Fugitives Destroyer in the second generation, which is coming off a yellow buck. Let's check and see if they got a picture of this dog. Nice tall dog. Got a lot of leg up under him. You know, good long snout on him too. Good long snout. Okay, they got Yellow Buck, Stone City Nico Jr., Stone City Nico, Stone City Nico, coming off Stone City Jedi, Stone City Awesome Baby. Now, if you seen my video, of that dog I posted at the end of my video that's pointing in the same direction as this dog you're looking at now, it's one of the dogs that come off of Fletcher. It's standing behind a fence and it's looking in the same direction. Look at that dog, you know, and tell me, don't you see the buck in that dog? That dog that you see on that picture at the end of my video look almost exactly like that dog right there. And there's not that much buck in my dogs. That's why I say buck genes are strong. That dog look exactly like that dog. And like I said, check my videos out, the ones that I did over the past couple of days. It's the dog at the end of the video standing behind a fence. It's a young dog. He probably about a year old, close to that, around that age. But he looked just like that, shape-wise, you know? So that's old Stone City Kennels Nico. Yellow Buck. Let's see who else they bred to, man. Uh-oh. We got some dog pound shit down here. This where them cane corsos come from, and them torsos, and them Presa Canaries. This where all that shit come from, boy. See, we can't have no unknown when it come to this MayDay and Buck stuff, because the boys done said some hound dog in there somewhere, you know. Hey, man, big salute to all the brothers and sisters down in the chat. Let me speak on this real quick while we're looking at this unknown pedigree. You know, a couple of the brothers came up a couple videos back, and John Kramer was asking me about my dogs having bulldog physique. See, the thing it is, dog, you don't understand, you know, and it don't bother me to explain it to you. All dogs aren't shaped the same. That's the good thing about pit bulls, you know. And the thing about it, we can't be playing no games when it comes to talk to these dogs. A lot of y'all brothers, y'all bully breeders and y'all bulldog breeders, and y'all like to bring them conversations over here. See, what we do is we respect bulldog breeders, and we're gonna talk bulldog breeder interviews. We're gonna talk bulldog breeder interviews, but we ain't gonna make up no fantasy fairy tale talk every 5 minutes talking about a dog coming off a hound dog, a dog coming off a bulldog, this and that. Listen, y'all stay in y'all fucking community, and if you gonna come over here, understand what real game dogs is. You know what I'm saying? They all aren't shaped the same, you know? They all, I guess you say MayDay got a bulldog physique. Now, do MayDay got a bulldog physique or do he got a hound dog physique? You know, make up your damn mind when it comes to these dogs. Like I said before, keep all that fairy tale talk down with the brothers in the fairy tale talk section. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to these dogs, you know, and it ain't me getting no, I ain't getting my feelings telling you. I'm just keeping it real with y'all brothers, man. Y'all taking it a little too far sometimes with these other breeds talking about these game dogs, man. You know, you can't be bringing all that stuff in all the time. All that shit ain't real talk that y'all be bringing in. And y'all try to bring it in like it's real, man. You know, every dog shaped different, man. Get the kind of dog that you like and how it's shaped. You know, plain out and simple. Now, when it comes to the dog here, like I said, this we gonna call this dog pound shit right here because it's a unknown, you know. So let's move on to the next dog, man. Let's go on the third page of his offspring list. Let's go to Freedom Born's Champion Black Dream. Oh, good looking dog right there. Good looking dog right there. Yes, sir. Now this dog coming off of Jesse James Rod, bred to his half brother daughter. Now this dog here bred up. This dog here bred up. Macho Buck bred to one of MayDay daughters. Macho Buck bred to Zua too. One of MayDay daughters. MayDay and Zua made Zua 2 bred to Macho Buck, which made Freedom Born Shonda. Shonda bred it. Jesse James Rod and made this dog here. And that's a damn good looking dog. And you know what? See, back in the days, I'm just looking at this dog and I'm gonna give you a quick breakdown. I like this dog, right? And a lot of these game dogs I would like, right? And I used to always say this when I was younger. I don't want that dog to look like a pit bull. I want that dog with the ears flapped over, and then you know they'll be like, "Oh, what's that? A mixed breed? What is it?" And then I let something like that go on them. You know, this is back in the days I'm speaking on now. You know, and I gotta say this to the tree huggers, man. Every now and then, if you're watching my channel, every now and then I flash back. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I smoked so much weed in my days, man. I can't talk without flashing back. You know what I'm saying? I can't talk without flashing back every now and then. So every now and then you hear me flash back to the 95, 96, 97, 98. You know what I'm saying? But I always clear and make it clear that in today's time, we trying to stay focused on the positive. We want these brothers to do the right things with these dogs. And I'm looking at this dog right here, man. This dog right here would have been excellent on the treadmill, excellent weight pull, excellent wall climb, and probably good on the lure chase. This is what you call a good conformational dog. You know, good long snout. I like how long his snout is. You know what I'm saying? And my a perfect snout for me is, like I always say, that triangle shape. I like that triangle shape, which means you got good jaws there and you got good beak there, like a bird beak. You know, good jaws and a good snout. You know, I like it like that. But it's a good looking dog right here. Let's move on, man. That's Black Dream. And we just checking Jesse James Rod offspring out. East Coast King James. More of that clean Mary, Jesse James Rod stuff. Like I said, that had been a good breeding there, man. Let's check out Rough Life Kennels Bouncer. He's coming off Jesse James Rod. We finally got well, it's still the same stuff. We got Buck Bolio on the top, a Jeep. And then you got your Red Boy Jocko on the bottom side with Mo Buck in between that, on the bottom of that rather. So you got your Bozak with your Black Ops Penny. See if they got a picture of her. Now, okay. Now when you young, you know, and you dealing with other younger people close to your age, they be like, "Oh man, there ain't no pit bull you got there. There ain't no pit bull." You know, yeah, y'all brothers that was in the game, y'all, you know, you couldn't fool y'all brothers. But if they was green and they was close to my age and they see a dog that look like that, oh man, he ain't no pit bull. And then you put him on him. Oh, what man? Where you get that dog from? You know, it's them ears, baby. That's why I told brothers, if you check them dogs out, Scorpion and Sandman, little puppies off Fletcher and Mellow Yellow, ears just like that. And you know, y'all see Mellow Yellow every day. Y'all see Fletcher every day on the videos. Neither one of them ears are looking like that. You know? So when they produce dogs with ears like that, you know, that's what we can say is throwback. Whether the next litter be like that or not. If the litter of puppies Fletcher and Mellow Yellow had got ears that look like this dog here, it's common sense. I don't have to say throwback. It's just telling you what it is. Where them ears come from? Not the mama, not the daddy, not even the granddad, not even the granddaddy or the grandmama got ears like that. Them ears come from further back, you know? And then if we don't got MayDay in it, period, where the ears come from? They come from further back, you know? So let's keep this thing going. Great looking dog right here, Blackout's Penny. We looking at Rough Line Kennels Bouncer, Pedigree, which is, like I said, Red Boy Jocko, your Tombstone Bolio, and you got your Jeep in there as well. Got your Jeep in there as well. Check a couple more dogs out, man. Then we gonna step to another dog. Let's see what we got here. We got let's check Untouchables, Jenny Jones. Okay, no picture, but we do got a Nico Jr. on the bottom side. 357 daughter, itty bitty. Let's see if we got a picture of that. Okay, that's 357 daughter. She must have been a small dog. She must have been old 30-some pounder, 20-some, 30-some pounder. Oh, itty bitty. She's coming off 357 and Little Pig. Little Pig is a Tombstone Bolio, Red Boy Jocko, Jeep dog. I think them dogs would have made a good cross, but I did see a few times, you know, where the Bolio didn't make, you know, good crosses with the Red Boy Jocko back in my days. I seen some good Bolio dogs, but when it came to being rough, when they were supposed to be rough, no, they just wasn't rough enough. And like I said, this is just a particular dogs that I've seen. It don't got nothing to do with the millions of dogs your brothers possessed throughout the years. Stone City's itty bitty. Untouchables Jenny is who we was looking at. Let me check one more out. Stone City's Awesome Chocolate. Same breeding. Let's go back to the first page and see if we find one or two more off this page. Rocktown's Jenna. Okay, right here we got Buck on the top, Jeep, Red Boy Jocko, Mo Buck on the bottom. Hardcore Kennels Breaker, bred to yellow. Breaker is a Jeep Rascal dog. Oh, that should have made a good dog. So right here, we're looking at the fourth generation right here. Grand Champion Yellow bred the Hardcore Kennels Breaker, which made Bozak. I was about to say, I wasn't paying attention to Bozak in the front. That should have made a hellified dog there. And that's why Bozak was what he was. You know, that's why he was what he was. That dog there is bred up. Yellow bred the Breaker, Jeep Rascal, Crosslands Lady. Got some of that claws in it. Now, I had some of this stuff right here back in the days. some of that wilder stuff and that hemp field stuff. I had some of that. I'm not sure if it wasn't, I ain't sure if it was Red Ace, but it was the wildest dog I had. I remember the papers I looked at. This was in the 90s. And I had some of the hemp fields. And that was the same dog. Matter of fact, the same dog had both of these names in it, Wilder and Hempfield. Okay. Let's check out Rocktown Kennels Monique. Jesse James Rod, Rocktown Kennels Melina. Melina is of Body Snatchers Ruckus, which is of Long's Weirdo, and a daughter of Hardcore's Bozak, Blackout's Penny again. A lot of these dogs are bred the same exact way, man. A lot of these dogs are bred the same way. This is the last one I'm randomly clicking on. QMK's Fully Loaded. Okay, we see something different down here a little bit. Not much, but we see something different. We got the Jesse James Rod on the top. We got the buck on the very bottom. And let's see what this Mad King's 2-time coming down off of Kimmers and the Bully Son dog. And Grand Champion Art on the bottom side. So they pretty much stayed in the out of all the breedings that I just checked, we didn't see no Eli breedings where they bred them to an Eli female, just straight Eli. Now I'm not saying out of all 3 pages that it wasn't, but we didn't see no Eli females. You know, let me check on this side right here and see what some of these dogs could be off for. Fugitive Raising. More buck, more buck, more buck. Yeah, they bred a lot of this stuff back to Buck, Red Boy Jocko, and Jeep, and stuff like that. And this is the dog we talking about, old Jesse James Rod. Now, when you look at the Offspring list of 357, we just looked at Jesse James Rod Offspring. But when you look at 357 and go to Macho Buck, let's see Macho. We can find Macho Buck real quick. Now you go to Macho Buck Offspring. This ain't his real Offspring list. This ain't even the real pedigree for him, far as the actual ped that was put down for him. I'm trying to see who produced the most winners. There you go, right there. Okay. Got 7 pages. Go ahead, Macho Buck. Say he got almost 7 pages. Ronnie Squire's Lucky Monkey. Now what he got here is Macho Buck on the top, STP Buck on the top of the bottom, St. Bennett's Bonbon, which is coming off Mo Buck and Bolio stuff, and Virgil's, and Stevens Virgil, and Stevens Hummer on the bottom side. That's Lucky Monkey. Uh, and I'm just going through dogs randomly, man, just seeing how these brothers got these dogs bred up. You know, now that's a damn good looking dog right there. You know, that's a damn good looking dog. But the bottom half of the pedigree is unknown. And a lot of times that stuff like that happens because dogs get erased off online pedigrees that was up there. Brothers get mad at people and they change pedigrees, take the pedigrees off that they put up there for you, all kind of stuff. You know, so that's the reason you see a lot of unknowns in some dogs sometimes. You know, the pedigree was up there until the brothers start getting mad and want to take all the information down. You know, that's a great looking dog though, man. That's a great looking dog. Let's look at Little Macho. See how they got this dog bred off of MayDay daughter. Barracuda daughter bred to MayDay. Barracuda daughter bred to MayDay. And that daughter of that bred to Macho Buck. Now this dog here look a little small. Might be a puppy picture. And then this could be far away. Don't look like a real big dog though. Maybe a 30-something pounder. Yeah, man. Just talking about some of these Tombstone Bolio dogs. And I started the video off speaking about MayDay. And we was talking about how much Tombstone he has in him. He has a pretty good amount of Tombstone in that Bolio side. More Bolio than Tombstone, but a good amount to talk about, you know. So and to the brothers who want to know about your bulldog shaped dogs, you know, what you got to say about MayDay, man? See, a lot of y'all brothers, you know, he just coming in this dog game, man. A lot of these dogs, you know, you wasn't even born when these dogs were active, you know. So a lot of this stuff y'all talk about and make up stuff, it ain't funny. It's funny at times, but some point you got to be real and be serious about stuff, man. If you're gonna be dealing with these dogs, you know, brothers had great dogs throughout the years, throughout the days, you know, and they don't need no discredited saying dogs part bulldogs and part this and part that, man. Just because y'all dogs mixed breed, don't be trying to talk about what the next brother dog is, you know. Brothers put blood, sweat, and tears in this game, man. For brothers be out here disrespecting that shit, talking about a bulldog, talking about talking about all that other stuff. Now with Tant, you know, we know what it was with him. He had them cane corsos and Presa Canaries over there. We ain't saying what he bred, which dog he bred to, but we know he had them. And we know brothers got black dogs. And we know he supposed to be ran Zebo dogs. But the yard man said Tant said he couldn't stand a Zebo dog. He would shoot them all down if it was up to him. So, you know, hey, I don't know, man. I don't know. All I know is, you know, at some point, brothers got to get real with a lot of this dog talk. You know, I noticed you got a lot of jealous and envious brothers out there when it comes to these dogs. Some of these brothers, like I said before, your whole game is washed up. You have nothing to offer this dog game, period. You know, um, and it shows, man. It shows. Like the brothers say, man, back in the days, you let the dogs do the talking. If a lot of y'all brothers let your dogs do the talking, you wouldn't be in the situations you in now. And you can tell when a lot of brothers, you know, especially on this YouTube stuff, a lot of brothers who haven't really experienced certain things, they move certain ways. If you've been through it and you were done experience, you don't move certain kind of ways, you know. And that's just playing out the way it go, man. You know, at some point, brothers, like, you can't troll forever when it comes to these dogs. When you gonna start showing some dogs, my trolls, to my trolls out there that feel like they can troll every day and they want to wake up and troll and go to sleep and troll? And when you're gonna start showing some dogs? You do know what kind of community you in, right? But it is what it is. Like I always say, my brothers and my sisters, you know, it is what it is. Now, let me say this while I'm thinking about it, you know. If your dog have a dog in his pedigree one time, that does not make him a yellow dog, a MayDay dog, a Dolly dog. Now, MayDay is a yellow and Dolly dog. Yeah, I don't mean like that one time. You see Tater back here? MayDay is not a Tater dog. You cannot call MayDay a Tater dog. You can't call MayDay a Lady Sassy dog. You can't call MayDay a Jocko dog. You know, and you got more chances of calling him a Jocko dog because you got Jocko in there more than one time. You know, Jocko dogs. But when I'm talking about far as the actual little Tater, like you got little Tater, you can't call him a Bull Boy Bob dog. You got these dogs in there one time. Now the concentration in this dog was Bolio. Bolio was the dog that it was concentrating on, and Tombstone. The Tombstone Bolio stuff was the stuff that it was concentrating on, doubling up on all the way down the whole pedigree till they got a Dolly. You didn't see them tripling up and doubling up on the Tatanka or the Tonka dog. You know, they had their focus in, locked in, beamed in on that, having that Tombstone Bolio certain percentage of each line in there. So a brother can see a pedigree and be like, oh, no, that's a so-and-so dog. No, man, you got Eli in your pedigree. You got Jeep in your pedigree. You got Honey Bunch in your pedigree, or Blind Billy in your pedigree, or Boudreaux's T-Bud in your pedigree. But that ain't a T-Bud dog. T-Bud one time, man. You got a lot of slots on that. You got a lot of slots on this pedigree up here. And if T-Bud is only up there one time, you know, you can't call this a Tills Jeff dog. This dog has Tills Jeff in it, but you can't call him a Tills Jeff dog. Y'all brothers will see a dog in y'all pedigree one time, and because that dog famous, you want to run with that shit. Now, if this dog had Red Boy right here where it's at right now, and none of these other dogs in this pedigree was Red Boy, then you couldn't call this dog a Red Boy dog. You got to go with the majority. And then that's when it comes to scatterbred. You don't got a majority. You just a little bit of everything, which is good. But when we talking about reading pegs and we talking about calling out bloodlines, it's gonna be what the majority of the dogs in the pedigree is. You know? And when it comes to MayDay, he's a 50% Red Boy Jocko And I'm gonna give him about out of that 50% on the bottom side, I'm gonna say he about 30, 35% Bolio, maybe. 35% Bolio, and your other 25% Tombstone. Now, a lot of people say MayDay look come from the Pat Patrick side. I can agree with, it may take a little bit of both of the Pat Patrick and the yellow side. But has Hollingsworth or Pat Patrick produced any more dogs that look like MayDay without having the yellow in it? I'm asking. I'm not telling y'all. I'm asking you. Red Baby. Now, if you really wanna be exact, that dog that look like MayDay. That's Bolio's daughter. Look at her ears. She's like a taller version of MayDay when it comes to the way he's shaped, his structure. And if she got down in her stance and she leaned, she'll be low in the back end just like he is. His head is a little bigger, which you get that from the yellow side. I don't think we really got a lot of good pictures of Yellow John to really see how he really looked like that compared to a lot of the other dogs. Now, let me go to yellow real quick. Go to yellow Offspring. Mm-mm. I'm trying to find Crossroads toe jam because I want to show you what these toe jam dogs supposed to look like. We got Fatty right there. See, we got some more pictures of these toe jam dogs up here. There go another one. Toe jam and red bud, Tance red bud. I had one bred just like that. In actuality, it looked like that in the face too. Had a slim face. It wasn't a real big dog. Shira, that's the Shira dog. Let's check out 305's Afro. They bred Toe Jam back to White's Tab. Low Country Jubal. I had a dog off Low Country's Jubal. Crossroads Assassinate. Had a dog off the Assassinate stuff. Let me see. Mo Toe Jam. Now this is Sambo's aunt. This Sambo's aunt. This is his daddy sister. Crossroads nuts. Now, here go a dog that don't look like Toe Jam. He don't look like it in color wise. And he probably took that from Red Bud. And he could have took the red side from Toe Jam as well, because Yellow got the Yellow John stuff in him and the Red Boy stuff. And you got that lime bread good and tight right there. So yeah, you could have got that from the Red Boy side. I remember when this dog here, Jimmy Jam. I remember when this dog here was in circuit. I remember, when I was hearing about it. This dog here was out there around the same time Sambo, a little bit after Sambo. I remember when Jimmy Jam was out there. Kate's Tank Girl, Yellow bred to Lola D, bred back to Toe Jam, which is Yellow Son. He had more yellow in him than Sambo had. You check out another one of his pages. Tenacious Bulldogs, Tance, Katie. That's off Toe Jam and Tance Red Bud. See, it's a Tance Toe Jam, but Toe Jam wasn't Tance dog. I don't know why I always say that on online pedigrees. Toe Jam was Mike Caton's dog. I don't know if he raised Toe Jam from a puppy. Now that's another thing. I don't know if he raised him from a puppy, but Toe Jam was on Mike Caton yard, and him and Crossroad was making them breedings. It ain't had nothing to do with David Tant. Whoever made these online pedigrees with Toe Jam, they put Tant's Toe Jam. But when you got an 80BA paper, my 80BA paper don't say Tant's Toe Jam. It say Caton's Toe Jam. Let's check out a few more of these pedigrees. Let's check out old P. Nitty Slut Jackson. Coming down off Toe Jam and White's tab on the bottom side. White's Peaches. I remember this dog. So this dog here was a Red Boy Jocko Jeep Rascal dog. You got your Jeep Rascal through Jeans Lug right here. We just looked at it a few days ago, brothers. So we're going to be on point by these pedigrees once we look at them over and over and we go through certain ones. We're going to be on point. So that was a Jeep Rascal dog. Red Boy Jocko on the top, Jeep Rascal on the bottom. Then you got your Crenshaw's Big Casey. Crenshaw's Big Casey was off of Rascal them as well. More Rascal. Jeep Rascal stuff right there, okay? So a Jeep Rascal dog bred to Jeans Love. So that this dog right here, Pretty Girl, she was a heavy Jeep Rascal dog. And you can see Mountain Man Hummer right there. That's old Slut. I remember Slut. Now, as we stroll down some more, still on Toe Jam. Now, I was going to buy a dog off this dog right here. I want to say I want to say these brothers here was in, or at least somebody that had a dog off of this was in Vietnam or somewhere like that, overseas, Philippines or one of them places. And I was scared to get them, because I ain't want to risk it, risk my money getting taken. And this was after Crossroad had done got out of the game, because I would never try to get one of these dogs from overseas, any other time. I was just trying to get it because I knew they wasn't around like that. And if I could have got hold to it, during the time, when before they got extinct, before the real ones got extinct, you know, it would have been something. Now this the dog that I told y'all I had that I bred when he was 12 years old. I had this dog here, I bred him when he was 12 years old. And that's the picture I showed y'all brothers with him stuck to the was it a buckskin dog? And I was breeding them. Like I said, I think we got about 3 litters off of him at 12 years old. But this is a good looking picture of him right here. When I got him, he had a big hematoma in his chest where he had gotten in a car accident, something like that. Matter of fact, it says right here after the car accident, he had a big hematoma right here in his chest that grew out. But he can still do what he can do. And like I said, I had this dog here in 2012, 2013, around that time. Now, and one reason I got this dog is because I know how these dogs were bred. I remember these dogs when they were puppies. I remember Eric coming up to me with a toe jam and Razorback Jewel puppies, and I went real fine on them because of the Garner side right here. I went fine on them because of that side right there. Eric made a couple breedings to that Garner stuff to his yellow stuff that wasn't really hitting on nothing. That's an old one right there. Let's go to the third page. Crossroads tapeworm. Had plenty of dogs off his dog Jabberjaw. I had a few dogs off her. Off the toe jam. This is what I was running before I started running the Big John stuff. So that's why I can tell you about it so easily. The Low Country Spur had the dogs off him. Tance Bessie. We had one named Betsy that was off. Had Betsy too. Off of this dog, Tance Bessie. Had Bessie too. Little Ivy off Low Country's Ivy. That's off the Low Country Spur stuff. And like I said, that Don Turtle that I'll be talking about with y'all brothers. Let's see what this Gene Snug is off. Not the lug, but the snug. He off Jeep and Rascal on the bottom as well. I wonder if they put that wrong. They meant Gene's lug. They probably meant Gene's lug. That's the tapeworm dog. Now, Crossroad was gonna sell us this dog right here when he was getting out of the game. He wanted 5,000 for, but he would have took less. He would have took less for. In actuality, I think he wanted a little less. I think he wanted 2,500 for this bitch right here. And like I said, he'd have took less for. He wanted 5,000 for Sambo Daddy. He wanted 5,000 for MayDay son Pee Wee. This is when he was getting out the game. This is all the prices that he was telling us. $5,000 for Sambo Daddy. And we had first dabs at all these dogs. Sambo Daddy went all California, and I think Team Georgia ended up with the sperm or ended up with him. Before all that happened, we had dabs at them dogs, you know, because we was the people around Eric at the time. So it was Fatty, it was Pee Wee, it was Sadie, which is Sambo Mama that he had. It was a dog he was gonna sell named S&S. These are all big dogs as well. He had several of them that he was gonna sell for pretty decent prices. Let me click on one more off this toe jam and we're gonna move on. 305's Mango. Crenshaw Jeep, Red Boy Jack on the top, Low Country Jubal on the bottom. And on the very bottom, we got Brooks Charlie or Brock's Charlie, which is coming off Jeep Rascal dog. Now that's what I call a real Jeep Rascal right there. Jeep coming off a Jeep, and you got Rascal right here in the third generation 2 times. That's a real Jeep Rascal dog. Let's see, man. Let's see here. Like I told you, this dog right here, Crunch, he gave that to my homeboy after he lost. Like I said, I want to say he lost to 600. He gave that dog to my homeboy, but he died on the way home. On the way home before he made it back to Conway. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody rocking with the bay tonight, today, this morning. Just depends on where you're catching this video from. You know, y'all stay safe out there, man. Y'all stay legal out there. And remember, come rock with your boy when you want to get that dog talk like you ain't gonna get it nowhere else, man. And I'm out.